here. That said, Michael's younger, better looking, taller, and more sophisticated brother. It's not every day that you get to commemorate a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity or experience surrounded by friends, family, and loved ones. As many of you know, I just completed the Boston Marathon 4 days ago, so thank you all for coming out to celebrate. We're for the love and marriage of Michael and Anna. That said, to all the young parents in the room, I won't tell anyone if you're also using tonight as an excuse to ditch the kids and indulge in an unhealthy amount of Prosecco and unlimited drinks at the open bar. However, after growing up in the shadow of Michael's friends, I know that there's a real possibility that we may actually run out of booze tonight. So I'll say that mine early. For those of you that quietly admitted that you don't know who I am, then this is probably a good time to reveal some background of the Brome sibling dynamic. For starters, there's 3 of us, and the real kicker is that there's a 7 to 10 year age gap between myself, Michael, and Katie. So you can all come to the same conclusion I did growing up. Oops. Older sister Katie is the brains and fashionista of the group, always dressed to the nines. Next up, there's me, the youngest, aka the favorite who could do no wrong. And then there's Michael, the infamous middle child. Where do we start with him? I'll say this, it's a good thing that Katie and I were so easygoing and well-behaved growing up, because Mom and Dad sure had their hands full with Michael. When I was writing this speech, I was trying to come up with some good stories to share, or really just a story that I could share. But the best ones just didn't seem appropriate for an event like this. And to be completely honest, I'm not sure how much Robin and Mike know. So instead, we can talk about what it was like growing up with Michael. Our relationship started off like most other brotherly relationships. Michael would pick on me, I would cry to Mom and Dad, and Michael would get in trouble, and the cycle would repeat itself over and over again. As until one day when I started to push back. You see, despite Michael being older, it didn't take me long to outgrow him. Once he came to the realization that he could no longer throw me around with 0 consequences, our relationship dynamic changed some, and suddenly the playful bullying stopped. Now, despite the constant roughhousing growing up, I wanted to be just like Michael. I wanted to have the same haircut as him, play the same sports, and spend every waking minute with him. And Michael, he wanted the exact opposite of all of that. Looking back, though, I can't say I can blame him. I mean, he was trying his best to talk to girls at the time, and he didn't want his baby brother around bothering him. As years went on, though, we became closer, and along the way, he taught me a lot of important life lessons. The typical things like hard work, the importance of being compassionate towards others, and perhaps the most important, the consequences of disobeying our father. But overall, as far as brothers go, I certainly hit the jackpot with you, Michael. I'm so proud to call you my brother. While some brotherly relationships effortlessly allow each other to share personal updates between themselves, that's something the Brome children never really mastered. So it's not alarming that it was actually my mom who was the one that let me know the fact that Michael was seeing a new girl. It was a few weeks after Michael and Anna started dating. I was visiting home, and when I saw my mom, I could tell something was up. She was all giddy and with a big smile on her face. She asked me if I knew about Michael's relationship status. Of course I didn't. Remember, we aren't that good at this. As a side note, it took me about 3 months to tell Michael and my family that Kelsey and I were dating. Anyways, my mom excitedly rambled on, and there were 3 things she mentioned about Anna that immediately alerted me to the fact that we'd all be gathered here at some point in the future to celebrate the inevitable marriage. All right, 3 things. Number 1, her name is Anna. That's where we start. Number 2, she drives a truck. This girl sounds kind of cool. Number 3, they went to a gun range for their first date, and not only that, but it was her idea. I'm thinking, this girl's definitely cooler than Michael. It was a few weeks later that I finally had the pleasure of meeting you in person, Anna, and I have to say that meeting you solidified my thoughts even more. You're funny, you're caring, so easygoing. I'm pretty sure you could hold a conversation with a wall, which in this family is You're always down to get a Bud Light somewhere, and most importantly, you put up with Michael and his goofy mustache. Anna, you may not know this, but after the first time I met you, I texted Michael and I said something along the lines of, I really liked Anna, don't F this one up. And I'm really happy that he didn't, because as we are all now aware, Anna knows her way around a gun. And despite all that, I'd be amiss if I didn't mention also that Kelsey is particularly fond of you, Anna. Not only for all your great qualities that we just mentioned, but because there are now 2 brunettes at the family dinners, which are otherwise completely dominated by blondes. Anna, I couldn't be happier to welcome you and your family into ours, and I'm so grateful to gain a great friend and another sister who's a little closer to me in age this time. So everyone, please raise your glass, whatever you got left, for a toast. It's Michael and Anna. May you two have a long life together, full of love, happiness, good health, and adventure. Best man in Rome.